All right, guys, so this is the Bolt, correct?
Yes.
And this bike has some history and sentimental value to you guys.
Yeah, it does. It belonged to a good friend of ours, Sean Mahaney, and you know, he was just the overall badass when it came to like fabricating anything. You know, he was one of like the pioneers for like the mini truck industry, and you know, unfortunately he passed, and this is his bike, and we put it back together to, you know, how he last had it. But you know, he's well known in multiple industries. So he was he had Sean Cole with him and his wife, and they specialized in making like custom wheelchairs for kids doing sports with them, you know, like in the skate park and all that. And you know, he would go all out to make sure that they had, you know, a badass a chair to do their sports.
What's up, you guys? Big Bob with Tales of the King. Today we're in Pomona, California. We're gonna be hanging out with the guys from Mad Maxx Garage. You guys stay tuned. King Life. Chuy, Brian, thank you guys for having us. We appreciate it. Thank you for opening up the shop and letting us in. So as young builders, who were some of your influences coming up in the game?
Well, me personally, it's just been like the culture mainly, my influence, you know. I like the lowrider since I was little. I used to look at the magazines. I used to love the fucking lowrider bikes. I owned a lowrider bike when I was younger, and I just love the culture. And now growing up, I was able to get my own bike. Not a Harley right away, but I was able to get my own bike.
So what was the first bike you bought?
It was actually, it was a Yamaha Bolts. So it's a little like bobber style bike, you know. It was my first bike. That was the only thing I could get. I got it. I started customizing it little by little. Started meeting people with the same bike. We ended up doing like a group, a riding group. They started seeing me work on my thing, on my bike. And I started working on their motorcycles too as well.
So you just kind of started doing little things for other people as well as your own?
Yeah, well, yeah, I started doing like bar jobs and stuff like that. Cause you know, when you get a bike, the first thing you want to do is start like the bars, you know, change your bars, make it your own. So I did that to mine, and the homies started coming through. We started working on their bikes. And then since I've been a painter for years, I worked at a body shop straight out of high school. I decided to paint. My friend was actually, one of my best friends, Fernando, was the one that was like, hey, paint my bike, paint my bike. So his bike, which is actually here, was one of the first bikes that I've ever painted. And from there, it just evolved. With Brian came down, we opened the shop, and we just started working a little bit more on Harleys. Then I had the opportunity to buy my first Road King, and I rode it for like a couple months, decided to take it apart to build it. And right now it's a puzzle in the shop. But hopefully this year we'll be able to come out and you know, do a Viclas style. That's the style that we like. You know, we like the flake, the patterns, you know, and everything comes down from the lowrider cars from when I was little, you know, looking at the magazines, the bicycles. The bicycles were freaking dope. And that's where my influence comes from, man.
So Brian, how did you meet Chuy?
So we met through the same bike, through the first bike, and the same thing, you know, he was doing things out of his garage, and I was doing things because he was over here in La Puente, and I was living in Paramount at the time, and I was doing the same thing in my carport because I didn't have a garage. And you know, it's just, we met through the group on rides. And you know, we started talking a little. We're like, you're doing this, I'm doing that. I got a crazy idea to throw a 1300 motor on my bike, because originally it comes with a 950. So I didn't have the room for it. So I hit him up and be like, hey, are you down for this? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I would be going to his house like every day for like almost a whole year straight. Just after work, you know, started tearing the bike apart and figuring out how to, you know, incorporate that motor into that other frame. And, you know, just, that's how it just, you know, it was born. All of this was just being there.
Is that the blue Road King behind you?
No, it was also a Yamaha Bolt.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we both started with Yamaha Bolts, and then we just kind of evolved, jumped into the Harley scene, and, you know, we started doing Viclas, and, you know, it's something that we both like and that I personally enjoy. You know, I consider myself, I like taking shit apart, putting it back together, fixing stuff. You know, he's a painter. He does also mechanics, so we kind of both tackle it. But you know, that's where we kind of come together, and you know, I take them apart, make sure, you know, that everything's disassembled, and then you know, he gets down with his paint. And
so you guys didn't know each other, but the culture of motorcycles brought you guys together.
Yeah, pretty much.
And now, how long have you guys been a team?
2018. So since 2018 to now, 5 years.
Oh yeah, and it's been evolving. I mean, we started from the garage, like we said, with the bolts, doing working on the homies' bikes, and then after that, you know, they started recommending us to their riding friends, and that's when we started working on Harleys. They started bringing them in, and then it just evolved from there. We talked, you know, hey, we need to get a spot, because there was a time where we had over like 20 bikes outside of my lawn, you know. And so we ended up looking for a little spot, and we moved down here thanks to one of our friends too from the same group, that his father owned a little like garage. So we ended up moving there 2020.
Yeah.
And then from there we were 2 years there, and we felt like we kind of outgrew the spot, and we started looking, and luckily we found this spot, and we've been here for another 2 years going on February. And I love it here, man. And the people that we started meeting, everybody's so fucking helpful. Everybody's so like down to help, you know?
Do you feel like with so many shops coming up and so many builders out there that there's competition, or is everyone just kind of like in their own lane and supporting of each other, kind of like how you said?
Well, I feel that there's a lot of support from other shops, you know. We feel the support from other people, you know, even if they're in the same business, they still support, and they tell us, you know, hey, if you need anything, hit me up, I'm down to help out. And we're the same way, you know. We try to stick to what we do, and then, like you say, in our lane, but you know, we also try to help out other people if they need help, and you know, support people with their events and stuff like that, getting out there.
That's one thing, Brian, you said you don't do heavy mechanical work, and you guys will have no problem sending that out if it's something you can't handle in a sense.
Yeah. So if it's something that, you know, I don't feel too experienced with, you know, we have other shops that we work with, you know, people that have been mechanics for years, you know, since before I was even born. So, you know, we have a select few that we trust, and whenever, you know, it's something that's out of our hands, we pass it over. But, you know, we always try to we stand behind our work no matter what. And, you know, I don't see any competition. There's enough for everybody, you know, so everybody has their own thing going on.
And I like the fact that you say, you know, if you don't know, you'll get the help. Because there's a lot of shops out here also who will be like, oh, I got it, and then end up just doing a chop job on your bike.
Yeah, no, I have a couple of contacts that I'm sure, you know, they're fed up with me, but you know, it's all love. Yeah.
Now, what are some of your builds up to date that you guys are proud of? Or, I mean, I'm sure you're proud of every build, but you guys all have that one or two build that you guys did that you can say like, damn.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, it's the Yamahas, you know, the Bolts. Those are the first paint jobs that we ever did. So we're proud of that. And I sometimes go back on my Instagram and I look at everything, you know, like damn, like we've come like far in these couple of years, you know. But and then throughout that, we've meeting other people, like our friend Rene. You know, he gave us a chance to build his fucking bike, which I'm really proud of this thing, man. It gets love everywhere we go. The paint job is awesome. The way it just sits, you know. And then also Brian's bike is dope too. You know, everybody likes this thing. So we have our own. We try to have our own style where it's nothing too wild, but it's enough where it's like it catches your attention. You know what I mean? We just did a raffle bike that just left about 2-3 weeks ago. It was a Softail. That bike was I fell in love with it. I was kind of sad when that thing left because I was the one riding it. And now I gotta go finish my puzzle so that I can have something to ride, you know what I mean? But yeah, but these two are definitely, for me, the number ones, man.
Yeah, for me it's definitely all the bolts that we did. You know, we have a good friend of ours that he helped us in the beginning, it's Samuel. He always says, he's like, remember where you came from. Definitely these bikes here, you know, this was pretty much the first full-on Viclas that we did, you know, René's. And then we jumped to mine, and then the raffle one that he did, that he mentioned. And yeah, man, it's just a little bit of, you know, everything is just pride.
So is there a style you guys, I know you guys want to build Viclas, but if someone came in and said, hey, I want Maxxx to build me a performance bike, you guys do it?
Yeah, so we've done it. We have another friend of ours is Pablo. He has a blue Road Glide, and that one we did it like full on performance, like, you know, the wheels, like you see that bike and it's just performance all day.
All right, guys, a lot of people may not know you guys do more than just build motorcycles, correct?
Yeah.
What else you guys do that they may not know about?
I mean, we have our store where we sell parts and accessories, and we have our own line of apparel. And all of our apparel is done here in-house too, and this is the room where everything gets done. So yeah, this is basically where everything gets done for our shirts, all the cutting for stencils for the paint jobs that we do. They get done here. Decals, anything else that we need, you know. And everything gets done in this room, and it's done by my wife. Her name is Cynthia. She's been helping me ever since I started, even from the house. She puts up with my my attitude, you know, because sometimes these days can get stressful. And but yeah, man, she gets everything done here. And now we're always trying to keep growing and investing, and we just purchased ourselves a direct to garment printer. So we're excited about that one because that's just gonna open a whole new
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this special edition of Tales of a King featuring Maxxx Garage in Pomona, California. Guys, check them out for all your custom paint, custom builds, custom everything motorcycle. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Tales of a King. Stay tuned, King Life.